everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne and you are in my little corner, my little wannabe homestead of South Carolina. So today we're going to take us a turn and we're going to work outside. Give me one moment to get everything ready. I'm going to give you a small tour and then I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so as you can see, we are outside today. I'm going to show you what we look like now in our garden and tell you what we've done this morning. My husband and I have been out here working a little bit already. It is fall, and if you can hear, I'm crunching all over our yard because on the side of our home, where our homestead garden is, there are trees, so I have to plant what I know, all that stuff with sun and shade, and we'll get through all that later. I will break all that down for you later in the season as we prepare for the next round of planting. So let me show you what we've done. This is the way this very first bed looks now. As you can see, we've been working out here trying to get a few things ready for the winter. So this is a bean that my son and I planted. It is a regular bush bean. It's going to grow as much as it's going to grow this time of year, but it should produce me a little bit. We took out everything we had here. We do have our one lone jalapeno plant, and the only reason it's still standing is because I have a jalapeno that is not quite ready yet. As you see, it's still firmly on there. So I'm just going to let it go. We took off the top of that one. We planted those somewhere else. My marigolds are still going. I'm just leaving those. These marigolds are still going. This is my herb bed. As you see, I had cut our basil all the way back. It's been putting out, so I just cut it back again this morning. Cut our parsley back, but as you can see, it's got new growth coming on. Chives are still growing. All of our tomato plants have finished. We pulled those up this morning and discarded those. Now let me show you this bed. There's our oregano. I do have some marigolds in because as I've been changing things out, I've just been pulling them over. See, all of my little green pots and all of my individual plots are empty because I've just put them over in here. But we do have lettuce growing. I have planted some radishes, squash. There's another one back there. And our whole thing is if they don't produce, they don't produce. I'm just trying to figure out how to year-round plant. There's some lettuce back there. And this area is going to be our garlic area. So I brought garlic out. I bought it from the store. It is soft neck garlic. I have pulled it out and I'm going to plant it in here and see if we can get it to grow. I have seen people do this in my area, so we're going to try it. Doesn't hurt. That raspberry bush that we had, that golden raspberry bush, we transplanted it over here so it can grow the fence. We've got trees that are going to go this winter. That tree's going to go. I'm going to try to trim some of those taller limbs back. We've got a lot that needs to come down this fall and probably in the winter and in the spring. So we're going to major overhaul this. It's going to take some time. See, my husband's back there. He's out here with me. So I'm going to hang you guys on my tripod and we're going to plant some garlic. I'm going to talk to you as we do it, hopefully. So bear with me. Okay, so, I got to walk over here. Didn't mean to get in front of you guys. I do have my microphone, so at least you can hear me as I'm not in your sight. What I'm doing is grabbing what little bit of fertilizer that I have left. I don't have a lot, but I do have a little bit left. Oh, we have got to get some stuff turned back around here. So I really didn't see a whole lot. It said about how to separate, how far apart to spread these. I'm going to go, a lot of people have a grid, things like that. I'm just going to go with the typical, I'm going to put a hole here. I'm going to put a hole here. I'm going to try to spread them out enough to where they can grow underneath. You're supposed to go at least 4 inches down. So you want to go that far. If you hit a root like I just did, I'm just going to pull them up because these are plants that I planted in here. So I don't mind digging up a root. So what I'm going to do is go through and make my holes. Okay, so as you see, I just went in and pre-did my holes where I'm going to drop a clove. And what I have decided to do is just kind of go in and space them where I think they need to go. As you guys know, this is just a trial for us, so this is going to be our new thing. I went back as far as I wanted to, and then I'm going to, in the other side, come the spring, when it's time, I'm going to hopefully be able to plant shallots back there, or some type of onion. We got a few little baby onions this year, but that's all we got. So I'm going to try again in the spring. I'm going to try to do things different next year. I'm just working through all of that. Now that the holes have been dug, I am actually using Pure Gold Organic and Natural Handcrafted Blend All-Purpose Fertilizer for flowers and vegetables. So I'm just going to put fertilizer down in here, and then we're going to plant the bulbs in here. We're going to plant one clove per hole. And then we're going to drop those in. We'll cover it up. And then on top of this, my husband's going to put some leaves that we have. We're going to kind of mulch those around just to give it some barrier. Even though it is fall, it is still pretty humid here in South Carolina. So we just want to make sure that they're taken care of. Now, what you're going to do is I did to open up my bulbs today. And I just took them off, and I'm going to plant these with the bottom side down and this part up. Now, some people will go ahead and start these in their house, which is perfectly fine. I've done that before. I didn't realize I needed to plant them and go all out, but I have done that and let the things pop up and get the scapes off of them, which has been really nice, and they're very tasty. So I've done things like that before. So right now, I'm literally just putting those in every hole. And there was one of those that was small, so I actually left it clumped with the one next to it. These are soft neck variety. I had purchased them from the grocery store, or from Sam's actually, when we went. And I went through the bag, and there was a mixed bag of hard neck and soft neck. Well, here's the problem with that. Where we are in South Carolina, we don't get cold enough to grow hardneck. So we grow softneck here. So I went through, pulled them out, got them all taken care of. And the ones that we do not plant, I'm going to take inside. Mom's set up inside. And what she's doing is she is taking what I didn't bring outside, and she's processing it for me. She's getting them ready for us to take these, mince them down, and make little garlic pucks out of them, and they will go in my freezer for future use. I have seen another YouTuber do that, and it is very helpful. I watch her a lot. Becky over at Acre Homestead did it. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, not the planting this way, but the processing. So this is what I have left. We will take these inside so that I can process those and put them in the freezer for us to eat. We will wash those really well. And now I'm going to get some leaves. And I'm going to put them on top. And also what I'm going to do when I'm done is go ahead. This morning I did turn up all of the dirt and the soil. And I just turned it all over so that if it rains later, it'll be able to get in our beds real well. Also, what I want to do is just make sure that I'm protecting my garlic. Like I said, our trees are just raining leaves down like left and right, but it is fall, so I'm just going to put a few. I'm not going to do a lot, just enough to put that on top to give it a little moisture barrier. And pretty much all I'm going to do is make sure this bed has enough nourishment, has enough water, but not too much, and make sure it gets taken care of. Now, if it gets to the point where I need to, he is going to make me some greenhouse tops for a couple of my beds, and I can cover it if I need to. But actually, right now, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of leave that there. And we're going to see how that goes. I've never grown garlic before, so we're just trying it out. Now, I do want to show you, we did plant some bulbs over time, and we've moved those and put those in this area. They've done very well. I do have another plant that looks like it might have a disease to it, so I've got to figure that out. So right now, we're going to go into the brand of the part of I have my stuff planted that should be ready to produce soon, but I'm getting ready to look up and see what I can plant now. I'm trying to figure out things that I want to plant in the bed that he's going to make the greenhouse topper for, so we'll do all of that. So what I'm going to do, since this was a shorter video, is I'm going to take you inside with me, and here later when we process that garlic and the ginger, I'll show you how we do it. Hey guys! Alright, so we are now inside, as you see. Got back in. This is all the garlic that we have. Mom worked it up for me. She took the bottoms off, took the tops off, and all the little paper wraps. And then I worked up a bunch of ginger. So what I'm going to do is I have my food processor here, got my parchment paper, and I have 2 pans, and I've got my scoop. So what we're going to do, we are going to take the garlic and the ginger and process them up in there, and then we're going to take the scooper and scoop them out, put them on here. So we're going to do all that. So the first thing we're going to do is start with the garlic. So I've just got my food processor set up. I don't have anything special. It's just the little one from the Black & Decker one that I ordered a while ago. You literally just put your garlic in here and then let it work down. So I'm going to do that with this. Now, in order for me to do this and not blast you, I'm going to turn my mic off, okay? Turn my mic back on. So I'm going to get me a bowl. That is all I had to do. And I'm going to pull this up, dump this out, wash this since I'm going to do ginger next. Because I don't want my flavors crossing, of course. So grab me a wooden spoon. Y'all love these little wooden spoons. They're from Pampered Chef, but it was actually one of those that goes in like a bamboo set for outside or something like that, or for dips and all. They've really become all-purpose spoons for me over the years. I love these. They are bamboo, and they're so easy to clean. They don't hold on to the smells. I mean, they're just awesome. The ones I've had, I mean, I'm telling you, even some of my wooden spoons I've had probably, some of them I've had since probably about 20 years ago, as old as my son is, if not older. So I'm going to rinse this out. hot water. I'm using hot water to rinse this out with. And rinse off my blade. And my other piece that puts my blade in my food processor. Yeah. Sometimes you just make a mess in the process, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and put that back down on there. Let's get this back ready to process our ginger. However, before I do that, I want to dip up my garlic pods. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to take this one. I've got a pan with my parchment paper. You guys saw me do that. I've got a mess in here because I've got so many projects going. I'll show you one here in a moment that we'll finish up. Actually, I'm not going to show you because I want to show you what I do with it. So here's my sheet. I got my scooper and my garlic. See how pretty that is? So all I'm going to do is get me a scoop in here and just plop it on my paper. But I'm going to get that paper to where it'll lay down a little bit more because it was a little difficult there. So we're just going to pop that on the paper. I know you can't see me. I'll move you around in just a moment. Here, let's get you where you can see what I'm doing. And you're not just staring at me. There we go. Telling y'all, you're in my house, in my kitchen, and this is the way I work. I may be a little off kilter on some days, and I may have to go this way or do that. So you're working with me in real time with the way my brain works. So see, I got you off kilter now. There you go. All right, so here's my bowl. And this will come in handy because a lot of our recipes, and if you're like us, in most households, I believe, garlic is a staple. You're going to use it. Some things you need to use minced garlic for, and this way it's already done up. I'll be honest with you, you can probably measure this, but by puck, I believe this is about a tablespoon, which works well. So any ingredient, any recipe that you're using that you need garlic with, what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to do that, show you what to do with it, show you how easy it is to use. And that's why I do this. You work on this side so that down the road, when you need it, even if you're not, especially, with the winter coming and everything, I have bad days where I just cannot with my chronic illnesses. So this helps my days. This helps my future recipes, helps my family to where if they're cooking, it's already done to me. I mean, I've even seen this in the grocery stores now in freezer sections. Or it's just like buying minced garlic, but instead of infusing it in oil, I'm just using it like this and throwing it in the freezer. You see how close I'm putting them together? Because they're not going to expand or anything. So you can put them together as close as you want to. Because what we're going to do here in a moment is put this in the freezer and let them start freezing some. I need them to start freezing together. And once they're frozen individually, just like I do my biscuits or anything else that I'm pre-making, they will go in the freezer and they will harden. And then once they're done and they're hard on the outside, I will pop them off here and pop them in a Ziploc bag and they'll go in my freezer. And they're ready to go. No worries, no fuss, no muss, no, hey, do we have enough garlic? Do we have any garlic? This has just helped us a lot. Like I said, I got this from over at Acre Homestead. So this is what she has done. And this is what I do. And I've done it after I saw her because I went, oh, that is amazing. That's a brilliant idea. It's fantastic. So once you get down to the bottom like I did, I'm just going in and trying to shape these just a little bit more and move them around so that I can get the rest of these on my cookie sheet here. Because honestly, I think I can get the rest of this on here with no problems. And the way that my scooper did, I didn't have those punched down on there real well. See that one? That was a piece of the outside. So that's why I like when I mince them, I can see if there's anything that we have forgotten. Not that is not good because, you know, those outside papers on, that is where your powders and all come from. So they are very delicious. I just don't want them in my garlic pots right now. So there we go. Let's get the rest of these on here. And then we're going to mince up our ginger. Now, I know it can be done. I have just never done ginger before. So you and I are going to take this little trip together here, and we're going to try it out. So see how we do. All right, we're struggling here, which is the name of the game sometimes. There are some days where I'm on the struggle bus, and there are some days where I'm driving the thing. So, all righty. So this is what's left of the garlic that we did not plant in the garden earlier. And just so you know, yes, I was in the garden with no gloves on. When I came in, I used my nail brush and I scrubbed out from under my fingernails very well because I knew we were going to be doing this in here today. So I got it. They're like $1 at Walmart. So I'm going to go get me some more dollar brushes, that is. They're scrub brushes for your fingernails. Women use them. If you've been into a nail salon, you've seen them. They have them over at their sinks and all. And they work great to get out from under your fingernails. Before this, and oh goodness, it's probably been about 10 years or more. And about 10 years ago, I actually stood behind a chair and did hair and did nails for about 18 years. So nail brushes were something that I highly suggested to my clients, especially my clients who loved gardening and who was in the garden all the time. Even though they had artificial nails on, they still loved their gardens. So yes, you can do both. Just talk to your nail technician or whoever does your nails. Or if you're like me and you don't have any, I just use this little scrub brush, and you can tell it's been used. I've got to get another one. So I'll put those in my storefront once I get them. So I'm going to take these and pop them in the top of my freezer. If you guys have seen my freezer, you know that we have a stainless French door, and our freezer's on the bottom, so that pan goes perfectly on the top, in the top basket up there. I keep a place up there where I can lay it down. All right, y'all. Next step, ginger. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I've never done this before. Some of these are in larger chunks. Some of them are not. So, what I'm going to do... Oh, I got to clean this off. Hold on. So, what I'm going to do is bring me a knife over as well, so that if I feel like I need to cut them, I can. Oh my gosh. Sidetrack here, y'all. These towels. Dish towels. I got them from Sam's. Amazing. They've been the best things I've bought in a while. I'll put those in my Sam's thing, so whenever I get all that together, you'll be able to see it. If you've not seen the video where I announced it, I am now a Sam's creator I'm in the Sam's creator program as well as the Walmart. I'm getting everything up and running. I'm putting everything in my storefront. So give me a bit. I'm going to get that up for you. So I'll put everything in there from Sam's and Walmart that help me be able to run my household and do the things that I want to do. I'm just making these smaller because some of them are such big pieces. Look. So some people, how do you peel your ginger? Some people use a knife. Some people use a spoon. I started off with a knife and I had a spoon and I tried both of them. My hands just were not allowing me to do it. So I came in and got my trusty vegetable peeler and went to town. And the little nooks and crannies, I just pulled all those off, but in there, I just went in with my knife and cleaned that up. So what I'm going to do with this is I do want to do some candied ginger later. And I got to figure out how to do it. I've never done it before. I use it to help with nausea. That is a thing that I battle a good bit. And the only medical thing that helped was a prescription. And the prescription, after a while, makes your belly not feel good. You know, it's just a vicious cycle. Ginger has natural properties to help with nausea and other belly things. So I like to keep crystallized ginger on hand. I normally buy it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look it up, see how easy or how difficult it is. If it's similar to crystallizing orange peel, I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to look all that up. You and I may do that together. That'll be something we do together. The one thing that I have done that you guys have not seen, so I will do them again. I have been doing a lot of recipe testing and tasting. And I told y'all earlier about my wheat bread. I also made English muffins. I loved them. I thought they turned out great for my first time. So I'm going to make those again. And I want to make bagels. I'm hoping to make bagels this week. I have made tortillas for the first time. I made naan, which I've made a couple of times. And then I made a fry bread out of a book that I have that I'll show you guys later in my new recipe books. So we've been doing things. Now, this is so much. I do have this much more. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to turn my microphone off. This may get loud. So this is what it looks like. It is not only smelling good, but it's absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do is pour my ginger out here that we didn't mince up yet. Let me wipe my bowl out. I love these bowls. We were at the thrift store one day several months ago, and my husband walks over and shows them to me and quietly puts them in my cart because we do believe they mispriced them. So we got the whole set for a very good deal, and I love these bowls. I absolutely adore these bowls. They have been my favorite. We have been making with my breads. They're wonderful bowls to put my bread dough in to rise. How pretty that is. I really wish you could smell this. It's just, oh, okay. This may be one of my new favorite things to do. Peeling them was the hardest part. My sweet mama sat out there and peeled all that garlic for me. And it was a lot. But she's feeling a lot better, so she's been helping me with some things around the house that we've been able to start with her and everything. So, but doing that garlic like that with as much as we used, that should last. We'll see how long it lasts. I really don't know, and I should start mapping it and charting it. I really don't know how much garlic I use in a month or a year or anything. So I do need to take care of that and watch that. I'll start charting that so I'll know, because I would really like to be able to do this one time a year and be done, because that was a lot of getting this stuff prepped, and if we could just knock it out in one day, I think that's going to be the way to go. So let me know, have you guys done anything like this before? Just because I'm trying to find new things, and I'll be honest with you, the news today, there's been another recall from a major breakfast item. And I'm like, every time I see something like that, y'all, it just makes me so thankful that I've started doing this from scratch. And I know what goes in our food. I can see what goes in our food. Our gut health has been better. We have felt better overall. When I watch and police what goes in our food, it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. The one thing that I have noticed, and I'm going to start to try to film this when we do this again. If I eat bread out, I have the worst time. I have what I like to call a gluten baby. My belly will swell and it hurts so bad. So for the longest time, that's what I called it, was a gluten baby. I don't think it is. With the bread that I make, there's no preservatives in it. There's nothing artificial in it. It's baked in my kitchen with quality ingredients. I can eat bread all day, every day. And I do not have a problem with my belly swelling. Has anybody else noticed that? And no, I don't make sourdough. I make regular yeasted breads. And you guys will see that. And once we do that, and once I go through that with you and show you how to make your own sandwich bread, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's, I think, 5 or 6 ingredients in it, and that's it. All right, I'm going to turn you guys back off right here. I'm going to turn my mic off. Give me a moment. So that's the last of that. So it took us about an hour to get everything peeled. And it's taken us 15 minutes. And honestly, if I wasn't talking to you, I would already be finished with this and sitting in the living room with my feet propped up. But I wanted to show you guys how to do this, because for me, this is one thing that I do to make my life easier. Now that other, the garlic is in my freezer, in my refrigerator. I'm going to put this one on another pan. It's going to go in my deep freezer. We have a chest freezer over there. It's a small one, but I can go over there and put this pan down in there. I have a spot for it. So same as last time, I have my scoop and I have my pan. So exact same thing as last time. We're just going to do this again. Now, like I said, I've never done this before, so we'll see how well it actually sticks together. And I probably could have put some oil down in there, but I didn't want to. I don't want to put oil in there. Yeah, those are going to be kind of crummy, so we'll see how it holds together. Ooh. You know what? I know I'm going to do this. see how powdery this is? It is not going to pot up. I have an idea. We're going to act like we're putting this in a freeze dryer, where I've seen people do this for their freeze dryer. But we're going to freeze it. I'm just going to make it loose, and then I can get it out and measure it out however I need to. So we're going to try this different, but we're going to do this our way. So you can put a little olive oil to help it stick together, probably. What I would suggest do is look up people who do this and see what they do. I've probably not done it the correct way, but I'm doing this the way it's going to work for us. I like the way it works with the garlic, so I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to do it in one sheet, and I'm going to put it in the freezer. And then when it's ready, what I'll do is just pop it out. I'll break it up, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So I'm going to stick this in the freezer. I'll see you as soon as they're frozen. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours. I actually got tied up doing other things and then just realized it's 8 o'clock. As you can see, I've already started getting exhausted for the day. I went ahead and taken a bath, so I'm on my downward spiral for the evening. But what I wanted to show you before I went in is how this turned out. These are our garlic pucks that we made. So what I'm going to do is pull these off. They'll just pop right up. See? So I've got me a bag. I bought these, so I'm going to write on them. And then our ginger turned into one big piece. So here in a moment, that just broke up very easily. So I'm just going to break that up. But the first thing I'm going to do on my bag, I keep a Sharpie in my kitchen. So on this bag, I'm going to write garlic. And I'm going to put the month and date on here. So this is still September of 25. And then I've got my ginger. And then what I will do is as soon as I get this in here, I'll get them in the bag. And I'll put them in my freezer. Now, like I said, I've not done the ginger before, but we have done the garlic before. I had a small bag. We had gotten it from the food pantry, and I needed to go ahead and put it up. So we processed it this way, and it worked great. And Mom and I were like, we really need to figure out how long. So I put the month and the year on here. I'm hoping that she and I will be able to see by the time we get to this, one of us will look and think of what the date is. And then that way we'll know how much we use and how long. And then that way we'll know how much we need to try to process to put up. Now, doing it for a year, I don't have the room for it because we do use a good bit of garlic all year. However, I do want to be able to do it to where we at least get at least 6 months. I mean, I'm trying to make things just a lot easier for us, just so that if we come upon things like we had happen last time, then we will already have food and things ready to go. Because, you know, when Mom was gone, it was just the 2 of us and then the 3 of us when our son was here. So it was definitely a challenge trying to figure out what to do for 2 of us. So those of you who have gone through the empty nest, or if it's just you, or if it's 2 of you, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because going from 4 people to being here, 3 to 4 to 2 of us, it definitely took us some time, and we ate like 80s teenagers again, I'll be honest with you. When Mom was in rehab for a while. If you haven't watched that video, go back and check it out. It's the first one that's put up this week. But it was just easier for my husband and I to have chicken nuggets and french fries, or Salisbury steak, or pot pies. So I don't want to get into that again because it's a very easy thing to go into. If we want to get into that stage again, which we do sometimes. There's weeks where, and if you've seen my channel at all, you've seen us have sloppy joes and chicken nuggets and french fries and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to make them homemade, so that's fine. So this is going to break off pretty big chunks. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it. There's some that are individuals and some that are larger, like this.
So I'm just really going to roll this baggie up. Let me show you. I'm just going to kind of roll it like this. I pulled my bag back. And I'm just going to dump it in here because I didn't do it in any sort of fashion. It was just laid out. So I'm going to pull my bag up, as you see, and I'm just going to dump and pull. I'm just going to shake and pull, shake and pull, shake and pull. Everything's off of there, and it's in my bag. And the nice thing about this is, since I couldn't get a lot of those big ones crunched up with the bag, or broken up, look, my words, it's the end of the day, I'm very tired, broken up. It's going to be like ice or frozen vegetables. When I get ready to use it, if I need to get a good bit of bottom, I can go in and just crunch it up on the floor. I can just hit it on the floor like you would a bag of ice. So there's my ginger and our garlic. So like I said, I wrote the month and the year on here. I want to see how long that goes. That ginger should last us a while. We don't put ginger in everything, but I do use ginger in a lot of things. And with the holidays coming, I want to be able to have this option, and it's already ready to go. So guys, that's it for everything that's in this video. Processing ginger, and the other things that are in here too. And the garlic, planting of the garlic bowls, processing of the garlic. So guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I know this video has kind of been a little bit all over the place. Like I said, I am still trying to get back into the groove of everything. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for bearing with me. And I hope that you're able to put some of these to use, and we'll see how the garlic does. Garlic planting is between September and October, and then it does not get harvested until June or July, depending on when it's done. So we've got a long growing, which is fine. So I'm excited to see how that does, and you're going to come with us. I did decide on that back end. I'm hoping to be able to find some shallot bulbs. So I do want to put those out there also, because we love shallots. If you've never used them, just wait. We're going to do a cross between an onion and a garlic. So flavorful, brings out more flavors than you ever imagine. So that's it for today. I do want to remind you to take care of yourselves. As I've said before, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you don't take care of yourselves, you can't help anybody else. Take care of your neighbors, because we're all suffering at this moment. Have a great day.